Welcome back to another episode of The Lofty Lender. Today, I am joined by Scott Belloma. Scott is a seasoned mortgage professional with over 20 years of experience in the industry, including 8.5 years as a senior mortgage lender at Marine Credit Union. At Marine Credit Union, Scott is dedicated to helping individuals and families achieve their homeownership dreams, even when they face challenging financial situations. Known for his deep knowledge and personalized service and commitment to his clients, Scott has built a reputation as a trusted advisor in the mortgage field and in the area. He is also a family man, married with 2 children at home, balancing his successful career with a fulfilling personal life. On top of all that, I just want to say that Scott has been a tremendous business partner for me. He's been a great friend and someone who's always willing to go the extra mile for everyone. So I want to say thanks for being you, Scott, and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah, so and just to add on to that little bio, I reached out to you a couple months ago and said, Scott, I'm kind of in a bind with a nonprofit I'm working on. Would you by chance have any desire, any interest to hop in and volunteer your time to help out with a nonprofit I was working called Able Up Iowa? And it was a good fit for you, and I appreciate you jumping in, and you're still helping out with that. So just thanks for jumping in on that. I know that the people that you're helping are all across the state. Some might even hear this show at some point, and it's incredible the work that Able Up is doing. So thank you.
Yeah, and thanks for inviting me to be a part of that. So I really enjoy that and helping the folks that need the most help. So,
and it's amazing that I never even put you as a mortgage lender into the thought of that organization for quite some time, simply because my business life is separate from my personal life and separate from my nonprofit life, or so I thought it was. And then I started thinking about it more, and the people that you help at Marine Credit Union are really the same people that are applying for mortgages, applying for loans through Able Up Iowa. So kind of talk to our audience today about, I guess, let's just first start off with Marine Credit Union. What is the niche that you guys have in the market?
Yeah, absolutely. So at the credit union, we our niche is we try to help the kind of the underserved folks that from my standpoint as a mortgage lender, we try to help the folks that are not able to fit into that traditional secondary market mortgage program for one reason or another, whether it's an income issue, self-employed, and they just don't show enough income on the tax returns, credit issues that plague a lot of people, property, unique properties, things like that. Situations just where it just for one reason or another does not fit into the box for the traditional mortgage market, and if we can find a reason to help the person, if they deserve to be a homeowner, and that we try our best to help them out. So
absolutely. And so then going back to when you were first getting into this 8.5 years ago, you were just a regular MLO selling on the secondary market like myself, right? And
correct.
You jumped into doing this, which was a total 180 from what you were doing before. Why, and how was it kind of scary at first, or what was all that about?
Well, I was originally kind of fell into the mortgage business in the early 2000s. Things were really good, for several years, and then when we got to 2008, 2009, things changed, and in fact the company I was with at the time, they went under. Essentially, it was a situation where nobody knew anything, and and just one day we came into the office and there was a note on the door that basically they were shutting down. So and from there, I did start my own net branch and had that for about 5 years. But essentially, I just things just really changed because of that with the market, with the mortgage world. Things got difficult, really, really difficult, and quite honestly, I kind of got really burnt out, and I was considering getting out of the mortgage business entirely, and when I was kind of looking, I I saw an opportunity out there with a portfolio lender that I kind of looked into it and saw what they do at the credit union, at Marine Credit Union, and so I said, you know what, I truly do love helping people. It's kind of a passion, purchase homes, and so I just kind of, and instead of getting out of the business, I kind of revived myself with a different niche product that again kind of revived me and kind of had me stick around in the mortgage business here. And 8.5 years later, I'm happy that I did, and I enjoy what I do. It's a little bit different, just all the way around. So that's kind of what led me to Marine.
That's awesome. So how do you navigate the challenges of helping those clients with such unique situations, right? I mean, you've got people that have already talked to 3 or 4 other mortgage lenders, and now they're at you and they're kind of disgusted. They're like, oh, I don't know if you're going to be able to help me. The other guys weren't, the other gals weren't. How do you navigate that?
Yeah, well, it's luckily I have great partners like you, and lots of other mortgage lenders and realtors, and when you have their support, because they know they've been there, a lot of them have seen it before, so that really helps. And just explaining to them that, hey, I know you've kind of been through the ringer here, but what do you have to lose? Let's give it one last go here, and I'm going to be just 100% honest whether I can get it done or not. And if I can't, I'm going to let you know that right away. But if I feel like I can get it done, I'm also going to let you know that, and let's go and get this thing done. So,
can you describe a day in the life of a senior mortgage lender at Marine Credit Union?
Yeah, I mean, it probably looks like any other mortgage lender. It's we're of course running applications, looking at files. Our looks are a little bit more in depth. Maybe we don't do automated underwriting, so everything's manual. Working files, trying to ensure you've got your conditions cleared, and getting to that, clear to close, is super important. And then, once you have a good grip on that stuff, I love to get out and, continue to grow relationships with other mortgage lenders and realtors, which are my main referral sources. So,
speaking of which, I think Marine needs to throw another big party soon.
Yeah.
I thought about that. No, I'm kidding.
No, yeah, duly noted. So
there you go. How's your family supported you or influenced you in mortgages over the years?
You know what? My wife has been fantastic. When I started at Marine Credit Union, I had to be out of town for weeks at a time, and would come back on the weekends. And she was actually pregnant at the time. So it's been really good. So she knew that back then I was at a point where I needed to do something different, and this is what I found. So she was extremely supportive, and now just the good thing is, I'm not expected to, as far as the credit union is concerned, I'm not expected to work until 10 o'clock at night. So that they're really good about that, and that helps with the family time as well. So but yeah.
Good. Have your children shown any interest in following in Dad's footsteps?
No, not so far. So they both want to be cookers or something, which is a chef, but it changes daily. So
yeah, I think my kids are probably in the same boat as yours, but my kids are in the same boat because they see me working a lot, right? Like I take my work home with me. I've got my laptop no matter where I go, and so I put them to bed and I get back on the computer, or maybe I'm working on some stuff, talking to some customers. It's 6:30 at night and they're sitting down eating dinner and I'm sitting in the computer room. So I think my kids will never want to be a mortgage lender because they don't want to, miss out on relaxation. But at the same time, like work is relaxing to me. So I enjoy helping people that much that my job doesn't really start until 4:00 in the afternoon when everybody gets off work and starts calling and saying, hey, I'm done with work now. Let's start talking about mortgages. So get that.
Yeah.
What activities or hobbies do you do to keep you out of the office then?
Yeah. So I'm not very good, but I like to play golf. And that's, a lot of people in our industry like to play golf. So it's a good networking activity. Outside of that, I hunt, fish. I'm just getting my 6-year-old little boy into fishing. And so we've been doing a lot of that here recently. So, he's enjoying it. Of course, football. So yeah, I think you're a football fan too. So
Yeah. So how do you engage with the Des Moines community then during your leisure time? So obviously you got Able Up as part of your nonprofit work. Do you guys do other stuff as a company? Do you personally have yourself involved in other nonprofits or community events?
yeah. We've been really involved in there's a foundation called the Rooftop Foundation, and that we've been really involved with that for several years. One of our employees is a board member, and so they do a big annual golf outing that we're always supporting. We usually have several teams from Marine Credit Union and sponsorships and things like that. So, that's probably the main one I think that I can think of right offhand.
So knowing that you get so much time to yourself after 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever that is, do you have any personal goals that you've set up outside of, obviously your work goals are mainly driven probably by the credit union, right? We talk about they want to get so much in volume. They want to grow this, grow that. That's really driven by the company, but you also have time to have personal goals. So what's that like?
Yeah, well, as a dad, you probably know this too. My main personal goal is making sure that I do the best I can with the kids. Turning them into hopefully good human beings, and which it's tough. So, and just keeping them busy, but also they are super busy. With sports, and I think we're doing between the two, we're in like 4 different things going on right now. Sports wise. So that for me personally, it's just about, trying to keep those two busy and just trying to, like I said, raise them to be good humans,
That's great. All right. Getting into quick pick segment. So I'm going to ask you some quick questions, this or that. You tell me the first thing that comes to mind. If you want to expand upon it, you're welcome to do so. But we'll get right into it. So the first one is dog person or cat person?
Dog person.
Do you have a dog?
No, I did growing up, but I don't any longer. So
you paused, so I kind of thought you were in the same boat as me, like not really a person, not a dog, not a cat. Like, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of either, but if I had to choose between the two, it'd be a dog. So
morning workout or evening stroll?
Morning workout.
Vintage watch or smartwatch?
Vintage watch.
Got anything at home at all?
I have nothing real fancy, but I love the automatics. They're not necessarily vintage, but I've got 3 different automatics that I love, a diver and a couple others that are. I just love the way the automatics work, so they're kind of fascinating.
That's cool. Every guy's got watches, man. I've got like a box of watches that my wife gave me over the years, and I've got a watch box. And the other day I opened it up, and none of those watches ever work anymore. They were kind of cool, but they were more so for looks. They weren't really all that. And most of them battery probably dead, stuff like that. But when I first had a watch as a kid, I had a Timex. And I had no idea how cool it was to have a Timex. Like, I thought it was just this junky watch. I didn't realize the thing would run forever. I'm sure it still runs today. It's probably in the trash, still running. So it's pretty funny.
They can take a lick and keep on ticking.
Favorite holiday destination?
Hawaii.
That'd be cool. Have you been?
Yeah. Yep.
On a holiday?
I
or vacation, I guess.
We watched too much Bluey in my house. By holiday, I assumed you just meant vacation, right?
There you go. That works too. Yep. Sushi or steak?
Well, steak typically, but right now sushi because I'm working on lowering my cholesterol. So
health kick. Good idea. Yeah.
Yep.
Sushi's just no salt or anything in sushi. It's okay.
Yeah.
Camping under the stars or staying in a luxury hotel?
Luxury hotel for sure.
Favorite childhood memory?
Probably Saturday morning cartoons.
Speaking of which, did you see that? I don't know if this was this is actually a movie coming out or if this is just something I saw on Facebook that had all these actors, but there was a clip of Adam Sandler as Homer Simpson. Have you seen this?
No.
And
No.
they had Will Ferrell as Ned Flanders.
No, I didn't see that.
I hope this is a real movie coming out and it wasn't just AI tricking me, but it looks hilarious with some
I do
really
too.
big name actors. Galifianakis was in it. Yeah, it looks good. But anyways, I hope it's real. Cooking at home or dining out?
Dining out.
Winter Olympics or Summer Olympics?
Summer Olympics.
Paper
Big
book
wrestling
or
fan.
eat? Oh yeah. Did you watch all of it?
Well, a good portion of it. I watched all of Spencer Lee's matches, so I had to wake up at 4 a.m. to watch his first match. So
Yeah, I didn't even realize what was going on with Spencer Lee. I didn't pay attention to the Olympics until towards the end, but I was wanting to watch Spencer Lee, and then I noticed that it was on some special network or something that it was supposed to be. So I just waited until it was over, and then I saw that he lost, and that was too bad. But now he'll have to wait another 4 years to get the only thing I think he's missing in his entire repertoire is
gold medal.
yeah. Paper book or e-reader?
Paper book.
Preferred social media platform? None?
X.
X, okay. No one calls it X. It's Twitter. Let's be honest.
Well, I don't want to dead name it.
Musk has already said, should we bring back the name? So I think it's going to come back.
Okay.
Spontaneous road trip or planned itinerary?
Spontaneous road trip.
Live music or theater?
Live music.
Coffee shop work session or office environment?
Office environment.
Best advice you've ever received?
Probably the golden rule. Treat others, as you'd want to be treated yourself.
I think mine is never go to bed angry with your spouse because even though I screw up often, I have to apologize before I go to bed or else, it's just going to linger, right? I'm going to be in trouble for longer. So I might as well just get it out of the way and be done with it, right?
Yeah. That's good advice too. Yeah.
What's your biggest pet peeve? This is the last one. What's your biggest pet peeve? While you think about that, I'll tell you mine. So my biggest pet peeve is when you're driving down the road and your child or somebody has messed around with something in the backseat of the car and it's just sitting back there shaking. Like the sippy cup is sitting in the cup holder and it doesn't quite fit. It's a little too small. So it's just shake, 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 shake the whole time. I go nuts. I pull off the side of the road and I move it so that it'll stop shaking, or I put something else in the cup holder so it'll stop. Like it's really bad for me. So, do you have anything like that?
That's a good one. You know what? Once you started telling that story, I thought of one, and that is when you have someone driving under the speed limit in the passing lane on the interstate. That just is super annoying. So,
what if they're not under the speed limit, but they're not at your speeding speed limit?
It's kind of annoying too. Yeah, if they're if they're flowing down, if there's a bunch of cars lined up behind them, and they're just continuing to stay in that lane, going the same speed, that's annoying.
All right, trending topic. So the best thing about Marine Credit Union is that you guys take a common sense approach to real estate and helping people where it makes sense. Of course, not every situation is going to be doable, and you definitely are able to help more people than you aren't, which is amazing. But what are a couple of stories that you can recall where the situation was extremely unique and your team put together a solution and were able to get the financing done?
Yeah. So one that comes to mind, and you were actually a part of this one. We helped an individual that was they were purchasing some vacant land that was I think piggybacked a property that they were also purchasing, and
Yep.
And so we basically went in and helped one of the buyers with purchasing the vacant land, and it was certainly a unique one. He was purchasing farmland, farmer, and the with a lot of self-employed folks, he didn't show the true extent of his income on tax returns, and so we were able to essentially review documents, bank statements, things like that, and get comfortable with his ability to repay, and we're able to go ahead and help with the purchase of the vacant land. And I did look back at the debt to income ratio was based on the tax returns was over 300%. Yeah. So, but yeah, it was great. It was great to help him. Like I said, we do our due diligence to make sure that that we're not truly putting them in a bad situation. It's situations where what we feel is maybe one-time write-offs, things like that, and also looking at the true cash flow through reviewing business bank statements and things like that, allowed us to again get comfortable with it. And we also look at, of course, past credit history and things like that that we're looking for something strong there as well to help kind of mitigate it.
So it's a performing loan still?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that means it was a good choice. 300%, who cares, right? I wish I could get my underwriter to agree with 51% sometimes. It just doesn't happen. So 300%, I'll go back to him next time and say, well, if you guys, I could get one done at 300%. Should I go over there instead? And I bet they would, maybe change it. No, I'm kidding. Well, that's awesome. Well, thanks, Scott. I love hearing about the unique things that you guys have going on over there. And like I said, you're always my first thought when I know that there's no way I'm going to be able to help somebody if they've got the ability to fit into some of the criteria you've given me already as a precursor. You're the first person I call, and I make sure to even address it with you. And most of the time, it's let's take a look and see. It's impossible to just go off of our debt to income ratio or our credit score or whatever, because you guys take such a unique approach to it and try to find the good in everybody. So definitely got to love that. And again, just appreciate you being who you are. You're a great person, and you're a good friend. And so thank you for all that. I'm excited to get to know you more with college football getting started here. If anybody else has any questions for Scott, where can they reach you?
So I can email or text and phone. I'll give both. Phone number, text, which works for calling or texting, 515-681-9055. And then my email is Scott, SCOTT, Belloma, B as in boy, ELLOMA, at Marine, MARINE.
Great. Thanks, man. And thanks for joining today. And remember, hit that subscribe button, follow us on social media, and leave a review if you enjoyed the show. We'll talk to you next week. And remember, stay curious.